It's a warm welcome to Glyn Lewis, Chief Executive of Northam Platinum. Yes, Glyn, you guys, if you put it into perspective, the platinum price has come from a long way down, gone shooting up to the stars. It's corrected a great deal, just under $1,000 an ounce at the moment. But when you're looking forward, when you have a look at your longer-term projections, 5, maybe 10 years ahead, which you have to do at Northam, are you looking at platinum prices easing back still further?
No, I believe in the long term we're going to see better platinum prices. Obviously, because of the current economic downturn, before they start rising again, I think there's very cautious optimism that this will only start towards the end of this year, going into 2010.
What makes you optimistic, given that platinum is very reliant on the auto industry, the motor car industry, and on platinum jewelry demand?
I think we're in for a very tough year this year. And as I've said, I only think that in 2010 we'll start seeing things improving.
As soon as that, though?
It's anybody's guess at this moment in time. I don't think anybody can nail it down.
So what do you do? You've been in the game a long time. What do you do?
18 months and 3 years is probably a good estimate.
When you're unsure about the future, as you are at the moment, what do you do? How do you run your business?
You've got to base it on long-term views because it is a long-term industry. You can't do anything else but that. And then obviously try and mitigate and reduce costs where you can and manage the business. It becomes almost a day-to-day looking forward statement that you have to consider. Streamline
and efficiency, I guess, are the
yes.
watchwords. Your results were out today for the 6 months to end December, and the market liked them. Share price was up by 6%. On the other hand, though, however you want to look at them, it's a big reduction from the same period a year ago.
Yes, it's a big reduction, but one mustn't forget that we had the share issue. Average number of shares in issue for the period increased by 37.6%. So,
like for like, what was your decline?
The share price, yes, has come off significantly, but so have all the other players in the industry. And
but if you were to take like for like, exclude the share issue, how much were you down in this period?
I didn't actually do that calculation.
Still over 20%, though. It's still a...
Yeah, I would say over 20%. But
in a time when the platinum price you received was actually up.
If you looked at our operating margin this time last year, it was about 50.3%. And this year, obviously, with the prices having come off in the second half, right at the end, it was 37%. So that gives you an indication.
But I guess the prices are one thing because the rand weakened against the dollar, so that helped you a whole lot. But on the other hand, the costs were going up, and that's got to be
the important thing, I think, is not to focus on the dollar price of the metals, but to focus on the rand basket price. You see movements in currency which offset. The rand improved today to 9.96 the last time I looked. Yes, the metal prices did go up, but the rand basket price essentially remained around 240,000 rand per kilogram. So if you have a look at it, I think since the beginning of January, it went to a low in December of 210,000 rand a kilogram. January to now, we've probably averaged 235,000 rand a kilogram. For Northam, 235,000 rand cover our cash operating costs, and it will cover the ongoing operating capital.
Is it likely that your dividend might be passed at some stage? Because that's been cut from R1.45 to 38 cents.
Yes, it's really the dividend cover ratio. We've always paid, policy's been to pay excess cash out. We were paying at a ratio of 1. Last year we mooted dividend cover ratio of 2 at the financial year end results. However, with the current economic circumstances, it was more prudent to have a cover ratio of 3.
Glyn Lewis is the Chief Executive of Northam Platinum. It's a tough time that is going for that company, but it's got wonderful reserves in the Booysendal operation and the bankable feasibility study. We'll hear a whole lot more about that when it gets closer to being rolled out into the market.